Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our event, a joint event between the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary and Healing in America. I'm Alison McQuinney from the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary, and tonight I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Kim Vincent and Roger Ford as well from Healing in America. And Kim is going to give us some top tips on how we can change our limiting beliefs. So I'm very much looking forward to this talk, and I'll hand over to you now, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's always so wonderful to be with you and the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary. And also for us all to connect. There's something so exciting about us, crossing countries and being connected with this idea of healing ourselves and healing the planet. And it always is such a privilege to spend this time with you. So I'm very grateful to be here. So this morning, we're going to be looking at limiting beliefs and how we can change them, because they are actually a really important part of our makeup and how we create our reality. So I'll be showing you how do we identify limiting beliefs, and then more importantly, how can we change them? How can we change them so that we change the world within us and the world around us? And we'll be looking at that on several levels. So I will be talking you through that. But let's start with an opening meditation so we align our energy and we're ready to go. So feet, you can feel them. Doesn't matter if you can feel them on the floor, but just taking a breath with your feet on the floor. Let your eyes close for a minute. And whether you're starting your day or ending your day, just taking in that breath that allows you to move from outside to inside for just a moment. Breathing into that divine being that you are. And as you do that, imagine roots coming out through the soles of your feet and going down through the levels of the earth, all the way to the very core, to the pulsing heart of Mother Earth. And just allow your roots to wrap around that. And feel the earth's energy coming up through those roots, grounding and connecting you. And then be aware of that divine light, however you perceive that, just shining around you, like a showering of light, all the way around and through you. And breathe that light in. Feel it clearing and attuning. Feel yourself connected with your own guides and angels and with your own energy system. Let's take a moment to send unconditional love to all beings to the right of us. And let us send unconditional love to all beings to the left of us. Let us send unconditional love to all beings before us. And let us send unconditional love to all beings behind us. Let us send unconditional love to all beings beneath us. And let us send unconditional love to all beings above us. So love emanates all around and throughout us. And then, through a golden strand of light, we ask for a being from the highest levels, a guide, to come in and connect with the heart center of each one of us, thereby forming a wheel of light, connecting us all at the highest levels. Now, I often think it's useful for us to set intention, an intention for today. Now you have an intention for being here. What would be really useful for you today? So it could be, my intention is to learn tools that can help me change my life. Could be, my intention is to just enjoy myself. To just drop into your own heart and hear the sound of your own intention now coming through there. And once you have that, take in a deep breath and come back. Good. Feeling better? Feeling aligned and ready? So, what are beliefs? A belief is an idea that we hold on to, that something is true. Now, beliefs get formed incredibly quickly. There's an exercise that I do on the courses that I run, on the live courses, where I got these pieces of paper and I hand them out to everybody. And I get them to read the sentence and then turn it back over, and then decide how many of a specific letter are in this sentence. The interesting thing is people come up with different numbers. So some people might say they've got 3, some people might say they've got 4, some people might say they've got 5. And at the end of it, what happens is they all realize they've got the same sentence, but they become really adamant and fixated on the number that they originally came up with. And they will argue blindly that that is true, that their number is right and the other person's wrong, even when they swap pieces of paper. It's hilarious. It really is. So our beliefs, and that is an example of a belief being formulated very, very quickly. And we do that. Like, as we're growing up, we download the belief systems of our parents, our peers, our teachers, all of these get logged into what becomes the basis of your subconscious mind. So it's created in a way that allows us to sort the information that's coming at us very quickly. So it's a survival tool. If they're positive beliefs, if they're negative beliefs, it can really have us in a corner, right? It can really have us feeling uncomfortable. So what happens, the reason that they're important is because they become our filters, literally the filters of how we see and experience life. There's a part of your brain back here called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. Now, that part of your brain filters information. So science is now saying we have between 60 to 24 million bits of information coming at us per second. It's a lot of information. Our minds, our brains, can cope with about 7,000. So the majority of the information we're filtering for is being deleted or distorted. And it's being deleted or distorted in accordance with the filters that we have, the beliefs that we have, right? So if somebody has had a challenging childhood, right, where they've maybe been made to feel like they were bad, they're going to grow up with a belief that either they're bad or they're not enough or they don't fit into society, some kind of limiting belief. And then they'll prove that to themselves over and over again. Because what we do with beliefs is we actually search for the evidence that makes them true. Right? So it's a bit like, let's do this. Let me give you an example. So just look around your room where you are right now. Now, you know your rooms quite well, so this may not work as well, but we'll try it out and see. So look around your room and look for green. I want you to look for the color green. Just notice the things that are green in your house. Okay, have a really good look. Good, Robert. I'm really pleased you're having a good look there. Excellent, even behind you. Love it. Okay, close your eyes. What did you notice that was red? Or blue? So now have a look around your room and notice red. Okay, got the red? Fantastic. Fantastic. Close your eyes. What's purple? You see, we delete and distort the information. You can open your eyes up again. This time, I want you not to notice any black. Just look around the room and don't notice black. No black at all. Do you find that black is suddenly jumping out at you? That is that part of your brain back there that's sorting and filtering for the information that you're paying attention to. And that's what our beliefs do. So we don't see reality as it is. We see reality as we are. Which is interesting, isn't it? So some of the beliefs that we have are really, really useful, right? We have a lot of beliefs that have kept us safe, kept us alive, kept us going up until this point in our lives. Well done, us. Well done, those beliefs. Now, some of the journeys have actually been really easy. And some, if we've been alive long enough, we've had some challenges, especially with ourselves. Anybody else, or is it just me? A few problems with ourselves, right? A few challenges that we get stuck, and we start to beat ourselves up internally with negative dialogue. We start to feel badly about ourselves. Sometimes our beliefs will even stop us taking actions we really know we want to take. Sometimes we will be inspired. We will have divine inspiration. And still those limiting beliefs can stop us, can stop how we show up, can stop how we move through life, and can stop us from really doing what we came here to do. And I do believe we are in this pivotal point of our humanity, that there are changes and shifts happening on the planet. And a lot of those are energetic shifts. And I'm seeing a lot of people right now that it's like all the stuff from the past is coming up for healing. Anybody else been finding that? Been finding some challenges happening, or things that you thought you'd cleared, back they come? A lot of that is just so that you can let go of it. So really we're being asked to let go of these frequencies so that we can truly embody our divine being, our divine spirit, that we can live our lives from that divinity that we are. And believe me, it's in everybody. It's in everyone, including you. So one of the beliefs that I hear about a lot is a belief of not being good enough. Anybody else had that? Okay, yeah, good. Few of us here, hey? So when I was thinking about this talk, I was thinking, okay, I've done a lot of work on it. It doesn't run really very much for me anymore, although sometimes it can still show up for sure. But I was thinking, how do I know I'm not good enough? How do you know you're not good enough? And you'll notice that your mind will go back to a place, a time in history, that you made the decision that you weren't enough. Can everybody see that as you think about that right now? Can you start to see that you've got memories that come up? You noticing that? There are memories that come up, because what your brain does is it collects evidence that makes that belief true, that backs up your belief. It's like looking for blue and finding it. So you have collected this body of evidence that you're saying is based on truth, is based on your past experience, and this is the evidence that you have that it's true. But maybe it's not true. One example I went back to was I was in England, and I was doing a trainer's training in NLP, and I'd missed a couple of days of it because I think I was sick or something. So I walk into this group they're already bonded. And the first thing I get asked to do is read this long list of names. Now, I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I will read those names backwards. I will scramble letters. So for me, it was a really uncomfortable and embarrassing experience. I'll just say that. It did not go well. And I was realizing, wow, so much of my experience is based on evidence of that one experience. Whereas what was true is that reading names out isn't something that I'm comfortable with or proficient with in new situations. I would have liked to have been able to read them through first, but this was like on the spot. So is it that I'm not good enough, or is it that in that moment I wasn't prepared enough? What would you say?
In that moment, not prepared.
Yeah, not prepared enough. There were certainly things that I could have done differently, but I was running a belief that I wasn't enough. And so that got filed into that category as a category of evidence. Now you have experiences that are like that, where you have memories that make you think it's true, and we don't stop and question them. We just don't. We just take it as our reality and go through that is what is real and what is true. And then we look for the evidence over and over again, and we find it until we go, hang on a minute, something in my life really isn't working. Okay, any questions so far? Yes.
I would add in a new dynamic on that one, on the reading the list, that the person who asked you to do that wasn't prepared and didn't think it through.
Thank you. Yeah, so we can see it from different perspectives once we take it out of the category of this is how it is and this is the truth. Yes, thank you, Alison. Claire.
I was just going to say that I've been aware of the limiting belief I'm not good enough for years. So I have been aware and I have acknowledged it, but however much I try to let go of it, it still dominates, it's still in charge. So the actual, not in terms of the belief, but when it comes to doing things, anyway, I'm interested in how to let go of it.
I know, I'm going to tell you that next. So how do you know it's true?
It's not true.
Okay, but there's a part of you that believes that it is. So how do you know? When you think about, I'm not good enough, you get memories that flash into your mind, right? So you can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it. So with our limiting beliefs, we can test out whether they are still vibrating in our consciousness by, does that belief bring up a feeling? If it doesn't resonate with us, it will not bring up a feeling. So Claire, does it bring up a feeling for you? Is there a sensation you get in your body?
But
okay, good.
I realised that it was unjustified.
Of course. So now the conscious mind knows that it's not true, but the subconscious mind is still programmed. So that's where I think a lot of issues come in, where people start to think change is really hard, because now we see the blue, right, or the black, but we don't want to look at it. So we're aware of when it's going off, but we don't know how to change it. It's still vibrating, because I'm talking about this a lot from the mind perspective, but the mind isn't the only part if we look at, when I'm working with people, I see their energy system around them often. And I see beliefs as like clouds in somebody's field, but they're like magnetic clouds. And what I mean by that is they magnetize, they draw to us anything that is in resonance with that vibration. So anything that we are experiencing will know, oh, this is still an active one because I have a sensation in my body when I think about this. And then we draw that to us, even though we're going, look, I know this is no longer true. But that almost creates another problem in itself, because now we know what's playing consciously. Unconsciously, it hasn't changed. But now, usually people will develop this kind of beating themselves up that they haven't changed it yet. Does that resonate, Claire? Oh, I thought it might. Yeah, so then we give ourselves a hard time, which actually proves that we're not enough, because if we were enough, we'd change it. It's a trap. So does everybody have, so we can search for, like, how do we find a limiting belief? And I think the first stop is, what areas of your life are you experiencing challenges? Is it in relationships? Is it in career? Is it in success? Is it in, like, what area of your life do you experience the biggest challenges? Because that area is the area that you are running the most limiting beliefs. So everybody got an area of life that you're having some challenges. Everybody had got at least one. Actually, I want to tell you about one. I was running a workshop years ago in Ventura, just down the road here. And this woman was on the course, and her limiting belief was, I'm so old. I'm so old. She was 35. She was 35 and she had it that she was so old, but she looked 45 at least. So I was really gobsmacked when I heard she was only 35. She did a belief change, and she changed it to something like, I get better. I'm like a fine wine. I get better with age. And by the end of it, she did look 10 years younger. I mean, it was incredible how we transform. I want to bring up one more thing, actually. So those clouds of energy that magnetize, we also need to clear that frequency. That energy needs to be cleared from our field, or it's possible that a distortion of that will come back to us. Okay? So does anybody have a limiting belief that they want? We could do a demo if you want to. Don't have to. I can just talk you all through it.
Roger's had the first go.
What do you mean?
Well, we're trying to clear a belief that I'm not good enough.
Okay.
Belief. So I think it's probably a similar one to Claire.
Okay. Great.
So, yeah.
Let's do it then, Robert. That's brilliant. So you're not enough. You're not good enough.
Well, that's the belief I'm trying to get rid of, because.
Well, I know that, but right now,
yeah.
Can you just say it so I can see how true it is or not?
Okay, I'm not good enough for this job.
For this job, okay. Yeah. And what evidence, when you think about it, what kind of evidence do you have for that?
Well, the evidence is a script that I play inside my own head, and what I'm trying to work out is that it's not real. It's a script that I've created and I keep playing. So I'm trying to play a different script instead.
Okay. And how's that working?
It's hit and miss. It's slowly. I feel like I'm eroding a little bit, but I haven't got it all removed.
So how would you know you had got it all removed?
I would stop thinking I'm not good enough.
And what would you be doing instead of that?
I would be thinking, wow, I am good enough for this job, and this is magnificent.
Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start with several things. So one is I like to clear this from our body, mind, consciousness first. And there's a process that I actually adapted from somebody else's process that is really great at loosening up a belief, because it's like loosening a post. You talked in scripts, Claire talked in images. Right. So if we look at it, we use our senses to create our realities. Right. So we have visual memory or visual experience. We talk to ourselves, and we all do it. So we have those scripts. And then we also have feelings in our bodies and smells and taste. And so every experience that we have, when we think about not good enough, yours is a script, but it's basically in our it's programmed a bit like, do you remember how they used to line up the dominoes and you push one domino and they used to fall down? It's like that. So something stimulates that belief to be triggered, and boom, all of that happens. And so we have images, we have talk to ourselves, and we have feelings. This process, actually, let me back up a moment. Your eyes are the only part of your brain that are uncovered, and you notice that when you talk, you move your eyes, right? Your eyes move, or people's eyes move when they talk. What's actually happening is that they're accessing different cortexes of the brain. So we can see, is somebody in a visual memory? Is somebody talking to themselves? Is somebody stuck in feelings by how they move their eyes? I just wanted to put that there, otherwise this won't make sense. Okay, so Robert, having said all that, you don't need to know any of that. We're just going to do the clearing. So I want you to really think about not being enough, and not even trying to change it, but I want you to activate it as much as you possibly can. So the things that you use as evidence that let you know you're not good enough for this job. Okay. And really get the feeling as well. So really dive into it as deeply as you can, letting the feeling come up, letting the script play. Good. Yeah. Okay, great. Now we're going to do some eye movements. So I'm going to ask you to keep your head still, and we're just going to move the eyes. Okay. So keeping your head still. I'm not good enough. You'll just move them horizontally. So up to the right, your right, and down to the left. Up to the right, down to the left, 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 up to the right. Keep moving your eyes and keep thinking, I'm not good enough for this job. I'm not good enough for this job. Good. And then up to the left and down to the right. I'm not good enough for this job. 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 I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Okay, horizontally. So from right to left. Good job. Doing a great job of keeping your head still. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for this job. Good. Very good. Keep moving them. And then up to the ceiling, down to the ground, up to the ceiling, down to the ground, up and down. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for this job. I'm not enough for this job. Keep going. Keep moving. Keep moving. And then when your eyes get to the top next time, do 2 circles in one direction and then 2 circles in the opposite direction. Brilliant. And then shake your body. Like just shake, 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 shake everything. Blah, 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 blah. Tongue and jaws good too. Now taking a breath. Feel your feet on the floor. What did you have for breakfast?
Oh, what did I have for breakfast? I had a smoothie.
A smoothie. Very good. Even in the cold. So sometimes I ask random questions. After doing that exercise, it really helps to reset the brain. Okay, so we take the brain off somewhere else. So for you, if you're doing it on your own, I would recommend counting backwards. If you speak a different language, count backwards in a different language. If you're learning a different language, count backwards in the different language. Do something that, shifts where your attention is. Another good one is run your tongue over your teeth. Have you ever noticed how your tongue makes your teeth seem really big? You'll never forget that one. And it's just random. It doesn't mean anything. So, Robert, as we come back, you're not good enough for the job. How's that feeling?
It feels ridiculous.
Okay, good. Good. We haven't even got into the change work yet.
No, listening to your voice, it was very strange. Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels ridiculous, which is brilliant. So now let's go to the next level. So the next level is we want to clear it from our energy systems, from our fields, because remember, we do not want that magnetizing our reality to us. So close your eyes for a moment and let's just tune in. So feel the roots going down, be aware of the light from above, and just ask now the divine for a showering of light that washes through your auric field, that washes through your energy bodies, that washes through your physical body, dissolving and releasing that energy and letting it go down into the earth where the energy is transmuted. Just see it, all of that vibrational frequency being cleared from your field. It's like washing mud from a cloth or washing mud off your wellies. Just let that go down into the earth. Good. Good. Does that feel complete for you?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So you've been having this belief called I'm not good enough for this job. Can you say that again? What your limiting belief is?
My limiting belief was I'm not good enough for this job.
Okay. And what are you aware of right now?
I don't know. I feel a bit light, a bit weird, but yeah.
Okay, good. Light and weird is better than not enough, right? But we haven't even finished. So it's feeling like it's shifting, which is brilliant. So we shifted it from your mind, body, consciousness, and now we've shifted from your energy field. And now I want you to think about, how was that useful? Like, if it had a positive intention, what was it trying to do for you?
Trying to keep me safe.
Yeah.
Me, away from anything that might harm me. And that's just coming to me now. Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So when we start to clear the energy and clear the feeling and internal connections that's had, we can see, oh, this part of me has really just been trying to keep me safe. So we can thank and acknowledge it. Thank you for keeping me safe. Okay, just do that, just honor that inside yourself. And then let's think about, if we were to create a new belief for you, what would it be, bless you? What would it be that would be useful for you?
I'm good enough for whatever I do.
Okay. Now, most people who talk about changing beliefs would say that's all right, you can have that one, but I won't. And here's why. Because if we have it that we're not good enough, and then we have it that we're good enough, it's still on the same trajectory. Right? So is there another way of formulating this that is that says the same thing but with different words?
I'm going to love and enjoy this job.
Okay. I love and enjoy this job.
I love and enjoy this job.
Or how about I love and enjoy getting really good at this job?
I love and enjoy getting really good at this job.
How does that feel?
It feels good.
Yeah. Does that feel right? Because those are my words and not your words. So let's tweak them a little bit so that they're coming from you.
Okay.
Okay.
I love and enjoy being good at this job. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay, brilliant. So now, close your eyes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay down the neurocircuitry, the brain, the connections in your brain that makes that true. So I want you just to imagine what an hour would be like with this new belief. I love and enjoy getting good at this job. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you experience?
I kind of feel more of an excitement and a positivity.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
Yeah, excitement and enjoyment.
Brilliant. Now let's try it on for a whole morning. So I love and enjoy getting really good at this job. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you begin to notice?
A lightness within the body.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So let's now try it on for a week. Imagine a whole week. So it would be this time next week. And you've had a whole week of it, of really loving and enjoying getting really good at this job. It's like a game you're playing with yourself. Notice what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you experience. And also notice how other people start reacting around you. Wonderful. And then let's take it further out. So now let's do it for a whole month. You see it, hear it, feel it. Notice how you're noticing so many different ways that this is now true. And now notice as you go out into the future, maybe 10 years from now, that maybe it's the same job, maybe it's a different job, but you love and enjoy getting good at things. Notice how it can be more general. That's right. And you're really good at things now, and you know it to be true. So bring that knowing back to now. Okay. And then we're just going to state it with the right hand. So I want you just to put your right hand in front of you and say your new belief. So it can be like that. I now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm spaced out.
I know. I now love and enjoy getting good at my job.
Getting good at my job.
Brilliant. Now you're
love and enjoy being good at my job.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Two hands.
I now love I now love and enjoy being good at my job.
Brilliant. Breathe it in. Breathe it in so it feels like it's going into your heart, vibrating through your body, radiating that out. And imagine just shouting it into the universe, and the universe now echoing that back to you. I love and enjoy getting good at my job. Brilliant.
I love and enjoy getting good at my job.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so let's say it one more time.
I love and enjoy getting good at my job.
Brilliant, brilliant. So tell me, Robert, how does that feel?
It feels great.
Yeah.
The universe even spoke back to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
I love that.
It's about time too.
Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. And what was your old belief?
I don't recall my old belief.
I love that. Thank you. It's amazing, isn't it? How this thing that has been so true for us for so long can actually go, and we can't bring our minds back to what it was. It's like it, and even if we do, it's like, well, that's not true. So it was, you're not good enough.
Right. And I am good enough.
Fantastic. You are. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions or thoughts from Robert, and then opening it up to anybody else as well?
No, that was just a very interesting process. And I think anybody can do that, even from watching this recording again.
Yeah.
And switch the belief out.
Mm-hmm. Very quick. Yeah. Very quickly. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for being such a great demo. I really appreciate that. And yeah, really brilliant. Well done. So when we start to shift and change these, we change our reality. So what I would ask you, Robert, now to do is have that as an affirmation. Okay. I now love and enjoy being good at my job. And say it to yourself first thing in the morning. There are key points in programming ourselves. One is first thing in the morning when you wake up. And the other point is last thing at night, just before you go to sleep. Now, the reason those 2 points are really important, in the nighttime, being the last thing, your subconscious mind repeats that. So we get a lot more bang for our buck if we repeat it at night, because then our subconscious mind will take it on. Then the other piece in the morning is it sets the frame for our day. And then you'll begin to look for evidence of that being true. Because remember, beliefs are solidified with evidence. So the more you notice, oh, look, I am getting really good at doing my job. Oh, look, I just did that. And I did that really well, right? So you start to notice maybe things you hadn't noticed before, maybe things naturally improve. Make sense?
Yeah.
Good, good. Okay, any questions from anybody else? I'm going to talk you through, and we'll do a quick group one if everybody has one that they want to let go of.
Can I ask a pedantic question?
Please ask your pedantic question.
So what are your top tips if you do all this and then something external happens that makes you challenge the work that you've done?
That's a good question. You know, there's a couple of things there in what you say, Alison. One is that you assume the belief hasn't changed. I would say 90% of the time the belief changes. The only times the belief doesn't change are in those times where there's something it's doing for us that we haven't acknowledged, right? So let's say somebody has a fear of, I don't know, rock climbing. They have this fear of rock climbing, but in truth, that fear keeps them safe. So as long as they're incorporating that safety. So one, most of the time the beliefs change. If it doesn't change, go back and do these processes again. And maybe your languaging isn't right. You remember that you have a whole history here of memory that has been dedicated and devoted to this limiting belief. So sometimes you'll go back even further, right, into your early childhood. That sometimes you go, oh, what's coming up now when I think about not being good enough? And you'll go, oh, when I was a kid, I moved around and I switched school systems, right? So that's where I go to anyway with mine. So we sometimes will go back earlier, and I would say just repeat the process. Just keep repeating it until it's clear. That eye clearing is magic. Magic. Really, the art and the challenge is in keeping your head still. Robert did such an excellent job of that, of keeping his head still. So sometimes I'll actually back up into a wall and push my head back if I'm doing it, or sitting up in bed is a good place as well. But I'm going to talk you through the whole thing, and we'll go through the process. Does that answer your question, Alison?
I think it does, yes. I think also sometimes there's the element that maybe the universe is moving you on to something better as well. So if, for example, you were in a relationship and you set an intention about the relationship and then they finished the relationship, but actually that could be making space for something that's more aligned for you, better aligned.
Yeah, and that's something more that's happening in your reality rather than a belief, right? That's like an experience you're going through and not necessarily a belief, unless your belief is everybody leaves me, in which case change it.
There's a song about stay, isn't there?
Okay, so does everybody have a limiting belief that'd be really useful to change? And just kind of give a nod or raise your hand or something that lets me know. Okay, good. Everybody got one? I can loan you a few if you want. All right, so I want you to think about your limiting belief and just let yourself drop into it. It's been true for you. Claire, really let yourself drop into this, like feel it, experience it, let yourself. So here, when we first get into it, we want to go into it so it's activated as much as you possibly can. So really like feeling that's been heavy, the belief you've been carrying, that limiting belief has been a heavy one. It's made life challenging for you. So as you think about that, really let yourself drop into the feelings of it, so you feel the feelings. And once you've got that, open your eyes and you're going to keep your head as still as you can. Okay. And then with this, you're going to go up to the right and down to the left. So you're moving your eyes horizontally. So we're going to go up and down and up and down. Whatever your belief is, keep repeating it to yourself. So if it's, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, whatever yours is. Good. Keep moving them. Your mind will wander off. Keep bringing it back to that limiting belief. Good. And then up to the left and down to the right. Keep moving it. Keep bringing it back. Keep saying the limiting belief to yourself. Keep saying it. And begin to bring a little bit of a question into it as you're moving your eyes. I'm not. Good. And then horizontally. So we go from right to left, from right to left. Really letting your eyes move. Fantastic. Good. And then up to the ceiling and down to the ground, up to the ceiling, down to the ground. Keep repeating it. And then next time your eyes go up, go round in a circle in one direction and then round in a circle the other, and do that twice. Okay, and then once you're done, shake your body. Have a shake. Shake it out. Little shimmy. Tongue and jaw. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I can't hear any blah, blah, blah.
Improve your eyesight as well.
Actually, it does. So funnily enough, I created this process, and then I went to see Anna, who's the hugging guru, and she's got this thing about it improves your vision, and it's exactly the same movements. That was so funny. So yes, added bonus, clear your limiting beliefs and improve your eyesight. Okay, so everybody okay? Ready for the next step? So now let's bring in, close your eyes, come back to that limiting belief and just repeat it to yourself again. Now let that light flow down, wash down, that divine light. Let it like you're standing beneath a waterfall of divine shimmering light. And let that divine light wash through, clearing any resonance of this belief that you've held on to. Just letting it drop down into the earth where it's transmuted. Maybe you feel that happening in your physical body, your auric field. That's good. Just washing all around you. Down into the earth until you begin to feel that clean and clear vibration now resonating through you. Beautiful vibration, which is you. The divine aspect. Okay, good. And once you've done that, once you feel that shifted, we send a thought of thanks to the divine. And then just bring yourself to now. When you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, good. Okay, good. So now ask yourself, do you feel it's moved slightly? Do you feel like it's a bit looser now? Just put your hands up or nod or something. Okay, great. Okay, good. So now, if you look at it, what was the positive intention of that belief? Like, what was useful about it, or what was it trying to do for you? Was it trying to keep you safe? Was it trying to keep you humble? Was it trying to keep you connected to people? Like, what's it doing? Just get an idea of that and thank it. Then you can really thank it. Thank you for trying to keep me safe, or thank you for keeping me humble, or thank you for whatever it is it's doing for you. Okay. And then as you now come to consciously think about it, what is a better belief for you? So if it's in that I'm not enough, move it out. This came to me this morning during my meditation. So it was, I am a divine being having a human experience of abundant joy. You can put in whatever you like, but it was one that I thought, oh, I can't argue with that. I quite like that. So think about what would be a better belief. And we don't want to just flip it. We don't want to keep it in the same trajectory. We want something new. So Claire, for you, what would something different be?
I'm going to do...
What would your new belief be?
I'm going to do what pleases me today.
Okay, that's good. And it doesn't really speak much to who you are, right? So it might be something about, I might just give you a few hints and tips and then you can work out it out for your own words. It might be something like, each and every day, I'm experiencing the wonder of the human experience, or the wonder of me, or something like that. That might be a bit too much for you. But do you see what I mean? Like, that each and every day you're thinking, oh my goodness, this human experience. I'm loving who I am in this human experience. So find something that resonates, that feels good for you.
Okay, yeah.
What would it be, do you think? Just so I can hold the space for you too, while we go into this next bit.
I'd have to think about it. I can't think.
Okay. Well, think about it. So what about just, I'm a wonderful human being?
I find that difficult to say.
Okay. And? And could you say it?
I'm a decent human being.
All right. What about I'm a lovable human being? Yeah, I'm a decent and lovable human being. Would that do?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that will be yours. Brilliant. Anybody else need help in just their words? Yes, Linda.
My limiting belief was I do things wrong. With like words said to me, I should be ashamed of myself, or I should have known better. That was a big one.
Oof.
And so I'm a wonderful human being, that helps, but
I'm a wonderful human being learning to play the game of life.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Because
in truth, we all are, aren't we?
It was probably only said to me 3 times in my lifetime, but it had such an impact.
It's so annoying, isn't it? But yeah, sometimes we don't need to be told things very often for them to stick and hit us in a really painful way. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so everybody got their new belief? Are we ready? Ready for the next phase? I often think beliefs are like hats. We try them on first, right? Before we buy them. So think about your new belief and just say it to yourself. Now, imagine that it was true with all of your senses. Like, what would you see? What would you hear? What would you feel? What would you experience if you were a decent and lovable human, or if you were having the human experience and learning, or if you were loving who you are? Okay, and then take it further out. So now we go out even further. So now we've tried an hour of it. We like it. Let's do a day of it. So a whole day, imagine what you would see, what you would hear, what you would feel, and what you might hear people saying to you. Claire, you might hear people saying to you, God, you're so lovable. You're such a decent human. But start thinking about, what would people actually be saying to you? What would you be hearing from others? Good. Good. And then let's extend it a little bit more. As long as we like it, let's go out for a month now. A whole month. So we're into a new year. You've had a whole month of it. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you experience? How does the world around you respond? Fantastic. Fantastic. And then let's go out for a whole year. What you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you experience. That whole year. And then if we've been doing something for 10 years, we absolutely know it's true by then. Right? So now go out 10 years and you absolutely know it's true here, without a doubt. As as true as the sun comes up in the morning and it sets at night. That's how true it is. And then bring that back to now. And just in your mind, so the movement is like this. So you kind of put your hand out in front of you. I'm doing a little higher so that you can actually see, but it's just putting one hand out and then the other. So I want you just to, and you'll be able to say this inside your head. So take your right hand and just make the statement, make your new belief statement with the right hand. So this integrates it into the right side of your body. Okay. Good. And then the left hand. Brilliant. And then both hands. They're stating it inside your head. Now, if you're on your own, you will do this out loud. You can do this out loud, okay? And now bring that in, bring it into your heart and feel your heart pulsating it through your body, pounding that new belief through every cell of your body so that every cell of your body is now getting a wake up. Wake up with this new belief. And then shout it into the universe and hear the universe echo it back to you. That's right. Good. Then take in a breath. Come back to now. And you've all got your new beliefs. Okay. So who doesn't remember what their old belief is? If I asked you right now to say what your old belief was, who wouldn't remember it? Okay. And so you can remember your old belief. And notice how different does that feel now from when we started to now? Claire, how are you doing?
I feel a sense of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
It's very uplifting because I think I said kind of the different part of my brain has acknowledged it, which it hadn't been acknowledged before. So yes, it's definitely shifted.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So one last thing is to be aware that that vibration is now in your auric field as well. So the vibrational frequency that you start to attract and resonate with has changed. That makes sense? Okay. I realize I've gone over time. My apologies to everyone. And does anybody have any questions that you want to ask?
I've just got a comment that it feels so much more wonderful. I've noticed a real shift in my feeling that leads me to think, watch out, world.
Yeah. It's about time, I think, is the expression, isn't it, Robert?
I've always been told that instant results by, kind of, I don't know, psychologists saying instant results aren't possible, but I definitely feel a shift as well.
Yeah.
Good.
I can really feel the shift.
Yeah, brilliant. I do not believe that that's true at all. It hasn't been my truth, though we can change so quickly. It's astounding. It's really astounding. And when we address it on every level of our being, when we address it mentally, emotionally, heart-centered, energetically as well, then things really change. So have fun playing with it. Really, please play with it. If you've got any questions, you can always email me or,
It's just so practical. It's really nice.
It's very practical. Thank you. Yeah. Brilliant.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll be practicing that in meditation in the mornings.
Sorry?
I'll be practicing it in meditation in the morning.
Fantastic. That is wonderful. Good. Well, thank you all so much. I'm so grateful that you're all here. It's been so much fun being with you. Really lovely. Really wonderful. And yeah, does anybody have any questions or want to discuss anything? Or
What I'll
I
do
just
is
want
I'll
to say,
close the recording bit,
Okay.
which might make people perhaps freer to ask a question. So we'll stop the recording now, and I'd just like to say a huge thank you, Kim, for a really inspiring evening where I've certainly learned so much that I think I'll really benefit from, and I think other attendees here have also learned so much as well. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank
Really
you.
life-changing. And
My
we'll say good
privilege.
evening now, whether you're if you're watching this on catch up.